To Panfish Nation along with Mark. I'm Lyle and Mark. We got my good buddy Luke Hentges on with us tonight, and we are going to have a good time tonight.
Oh, he's only your buddy, huh?
Well, he's been my buddy the longest.
He's greedy. That I'll give you, but he's a greedy guy. Oh my goodness! True colors come out when the fan.
Hey,
people hit the screen. The true colors come out in Lyle's.
Let me tell you, there's plenty enough for me to share. So
I get the dad and grandpa and pops and all this, but Luke was the original son.
Oh, I can understand that.
He was the original.
Go around too. Don't worry. I'm a man of stature myself. Trust me.
I understand. What do you say we announce some of the people that's in chat with us tonight, Mark?
I would be happy to. I want to say hello to Betty out there. I know she's watching in the background. What's going on, sis? How you doing? I see 3+1 Outdoors, Alan Priscilla, Avid Fisherman, Brian B. Catfishing, Carmel Muncie, Carolina Catfish, Miss Cindy Stokes in the house. What's up, Cindy? I see Crappie Day Fish Crappie. See, now Bay Winkle would be really pissed off if I called him Crappie Day. Bay Winkle, you hear some people calls him Crappie. He does. He told us that.
You've been watching them Southern Boys videos too much.
I'm starting to say y'all and all of this stuff. Bless your heart. Holy smokes. It's not right for a Chicago boy to be saying that stuff. Cindy Stokes, we got Crappie Day Fish on. What's up? We got Creole Catfishing. What's up, brother? Dale Hayslip in the house. There's Dan Thompson. How you doing, David Smith? Fishing and cooking with Mike Chavez. He's probably in his truck waiting to go into work, so be careful once you get in there. There's Freddie from Freddie's Outdoor Adventures. I see Gene Tillman. Get hooked on D Fishing. What's up, D? How you doing, sister? Gene Tillman. Hooks and Hammocks in the house. He took a beating in Chad's show. Poor guy. I think he just took another beating. His name just disappeared off my list, Lyle.
Well, it's because he's knee-tied to a grasshopper.
Oh, no, there he is. There's Hooks and Hammocks is back in there. James Kirkpatrick in the house. We were on his game show this weekend. That was a lot of fun. Jason Ward, Jeremy Colvin Fishing. Make sure you sub to Jeremy Colvin. Let's get his count back up to 1,000 after YouTube gave him the shaft.
Hey, Mark.
Yes, sir.
I just seen where Betty posted that Bub is home.
Oh, that is awesome.
Man, that's the greatest news I've heard all day.
This is going to be a great show, not only because of our guests, we got good news to start.
Absolutely.
Kentucky Redneck Outdoors, what's going on? Lance McCoo guide, he's from Hawaii, Luke. We got a Hawaiian guy who transplanted to northern Wisconsin.
That's quite a move.
That's a rough move. LG Bass in the house. What's up, Tom? Little Luck Outdoors. That's a new one. How you doing? Maurice Kaysen, Mike Irvin, Mr. Kitty Whiskers. There's Murillo Family Fishing. Good job yesterday on the Docktails.
Absolutely.
Not on Docktails, but on Docktails. There's Muskrat Adventures. Northeast Missouri Angler. Great job on Catfish Weekly this week. Palmetto Cats in the house. What's going on, Kevin? There's Lyle with Panfish Nation. We got Papa Ed in the house. Patriot Catfishers of America. What's up, James? There's my friend Tim Molina. Uncle Lou's in the house. What's up, Uncle Lou? And there's Betty. I'm saying hello again to you, Betty. I see Avid in the house. Brian B. I hope I didn't miss you. Carmel Muncie's in there. I'm going through the list a second time. David Smith. I think there's my friend Eric Massey Jig Company. What's going on, Eric? How you doing? There's Chad Fields to Water. What's going on, Chad? Fishing Freedom in the house. They're stacking in here.
It's all mine.
It's all mine. Michelle, what's up, dear? How you doing? I was getting to that. Don't get me in trouble with my dear friend Lyle. How dare you? How dare you? I was getting there. Matthew Schott in the house. What's up, Matthew? Maurice Kaysen. I think I said hello to him. I'll say hello to him again.
Nina?
Mr. Murillo, Agent Murillo. Nina's Kayak Crew. Hello.
Lee Evans.
I think we got everybody. If I missed anybody, hopefully we'll catch you during the show. I apologize. But Lyle, you know how much trouble I get into if I miss one of the ladies.
I know. And while we're at it, my good buddy James Smith of Patriot Catfishers of America has joined us, and Fishing the Mid-South, and Buck Williams. Man, what a crew.
You got my back, Lyle.
We're loaded up. It's going to be a great show, having a great time tonight. And we're going to – Mark, you went out the other day and was doing some ice fishing. Got me thinking. Maybe we should just do a show on ice fishing. I won't have to do much talking because I know very little about it. and have no desire to learn.
I thought you were going to put me on the spot all day, and then Luke stepped up on one of my Facebook posts and says, "Hey, about ice fishing, I got some time. Like, done. Let me make this happen."
Absolutely. Yeah, it's great. Always great to have Luke. And by the way, for those of you that haven't already understood, Luke is also going to be on Catfish Weekly Monday night. And we're not only going to have a good time tonight, we're going to have a good time on Monday too. So
You're damn right.
We are going to have a blast. Luke, it is always a pleasure to have you on a show with us, and I love watching you guys ice fish. I'm probably not ever going to do it, but if I ever did, I would trust your judgment and dockeries and marks. Chad is not so much; he don't see ice very often, but you guys get out there and I seen you and Jacob and the other guys take a brand new truck out across the big old lake last year, and I'm thinking, there is no freaking way that I'm doing none of that action. But you guys just like there's nothing to it.
I saw him fishing out of his Lumacraft while it was hooked up to his truck out on the lake last
That's
year.
true. We fished the Mississippi River out of the boat, and then we're like, well, we're gonna go sturgeon fishing after. So I just hauled it was twice the distance, and if I went home, dropped my boat off, and then went sturgeon fishing, so I just pulled my boat to the Croy and pulled out there in my boat, and actually I had my enclosure, put my enclosure on, and hit the heater in the boat, and I just ice fished right out of my boat.
Very cool. Very cool. I
Cool
just got informed that I forgot to change my background, and Lee Evans was right. I did.
What's up, Lee? Thanks for saving him.
Yeah, saving my bacon. I've been watching Lee in the mornings, the last few mornings, and having a good time with that. So,
hey, Lyle, that background I got to update, and there's definitely going to be some changes. There's going to be one brother missing from the one we put up here for Panfish Nation. Just so
okay,
you okay with that?
Yeah, I don't care what you do.
Okay.
I'm easy. Wow, wrong opera house. Okay, David. You guys are keeping me in line. That's what I need. Cindy does it the rest of the time, but on Mondays and Thursdays, it's you guys' job. Creole says bacon, bacon, bacon.
I was going to try and not say that today, but we're done bacon.
Hey, Mike.
So how long ago, how'd you start ice fishing, Luke?
I grew up in northern Minnesota, and literally growing up, we didn't move there. We didn't move way up north until I was in 8th grade. But it pretty much came down to every single weekend from like 3rd grade or 2nd grade until I graduated before I moved there. Every weekend consisted of ice fishing, was putting tip-ups out in front of the house because our house was 30 feet from the water. So we went out to the drop-off and would throw tip-ups out there. And we'd sit inside with our pajamas and our boots. And when a flag would go up, we'd run outside and pull the flag. And tip-up fishing, man, growing up was like, that's probably my biggest ice fishing memories, is running out there in my pajamas and boots, pulling in fish when a flag goes up. It was super memorable.
There's something about being out on a lake, whether it's ice skating or fishing when you're a kid, that really, kind of, I don't know. It's almost like Christmas morning every time you're out there. Am I wrong or what?
You're 100% right. That's exactly it. It's peaceful, and it's different. I think ice fishing in Minnesota is way more popular than summer fishing, and everyone can get out and sit on the ice. Not everyone has a boat, so.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing that people that live up there understand, and people that don't fish don't understand, is if you're a bank fisherman, or you're not as well to do as some people who are able to afford a boat or whatever, that ice fishing opens up a whole new world to you.
Right, and some people only like to ice fish.
Yeah, this is true. That industry up there is gigantic, isn't it?
I mean, we have clams based out of here, otters based out of here. It's nuts. There's so much ice fishing. A lot of pro staffers, a lot of promotional people, a lot of TV shows out of here, around here, and it's huge. Ice fishing's huge. I mean, in terms of like video production and stuff, like ice fishing dominates YouTube up here in the winter. It's crazy.
We was talking before the show. I just got done watching our buddy Josh with Pig Patrol, and he's out in Nebraska catching giant bluegill and crappie,
Yeah.
ice fishing through a hole, and it's amazing. I really do enjoy watching those videos. I don't have a desire to do it, but again, I used to say there was no chance of me ever doing it, but the more of it I watch, the more of a chance there becomes. But it'd have to be at the right situation with the right person taking me. But absolutely, man, I've never seen fish like he was catching. I never caught fish like that in open water. So there's got to be something to the fact that it's wintertime fishing.
I'd like to see Lyle hand lining like a 42-inch or even bigger pike or a bigger muskie through the ice. I think that'd be fun to see him hand lining one that's caught on a tip up. And since I'm bringing up tip ups, Creel has a question. He says, on average, how many tip ups does your average angler put out? How many can be reasonably maintained?
We can only use 2.
I'm guessing that is dockery.
Yeah, it's
right there.
It's yeah, in your pike fishing, depending on the bite, it's nice to have a bunch of people because you can run at different flags, but we can only use two lines here in Minnesota in the winter, one in this open water. But I'd love to be able to use like 3 or 4. I think that'd be manageable as long as you're not it's super crazy. I mean, you just got to get there before the line runs out.
pretty much because they're running. You stop and set the hook when you're tip up fishing. So
yeah.
And you can't use like automatic fishermen's up there, correct?
No, but we use iFish Pros.
The iFish Pros, which is basically just a fishing reel on a tip up, right? It's like a hybrid, isn't it? Or am I
it's a normal fishing rod you put in a tip up, and when they take your line, the flag goes up and then you can go grab your rod out and start reeling it in like normal.
I've been meaning to get a couple of those and I can never find them. They're always sold out down
They're
here.
tough to get right now. They're tough to get in general. So
is that because it's wintertime and everybody's already run out of stock?
Yeah, and this whole COVID thing's really boosted fishing around here. I mean,
it has everywhere.
There's different stores that can't even keep up. We have Shields here in Eden Prairie that's by far, in terms of like huge bulk, can keep up with the crazy amount of people they get. And obviously, Old Carver Fishing, Chewy, the podcast that I'm part of, he's got so much like awesome stuff in there, but his bait shop's not super well known yet, and it will be because they got some really, really cool stuff in there too. I mean, most people just can't keep up with the demand right now.
And also they're trying to like manage inventory because once winter's over, it's over. They're sitting on stuff for the whole summer and they don't want to do that. At least that's what a couple of retailers have told me, at least down here. We have, our extent is the local bait shop, and Farm and Fleet actually has a pretty surprising ice fishing collection at the beginning of the year. But, if you wait a couple weeks too long, that stuff's so picked over, you can't get anything.
Yep.
You mentioned Chewy's podcast. You want to give him a plug? I know you're a big part of that, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm part of that podcast officially now. It's Old Carver Fishing Podcast. We just kind of rebranded it. And Lyle's actually our first guest on that channel. We kept Lyle's. That was a really good one. And
what a great time I had.
You had Eric B on there too. I saw that one too. And Spencer, correct?
The quality was a little low because he was doing it out of his truck with a lamp.
That's Eric. That's just Eric.
So it's a fun. We got a full podcast studio at the bait shop there in Carver, and it's fun. Like we got a big lineup of guests coming soon. A lot of women anglers, ice anglers, just normal women anglers, women that have fished professionally. It's gonna be cool, and the atmosphere at Carver Bait's sweet to do the podcast. So
it's actually at the bait shop, right? And can you explain a little bit about the bait shop that you guys got or that he has up there?
Yeah, I can. It's part of the old Carver, so it's a historic building, and there's a part connected to the bait shop that we have the whole studio set up in, and it's sweet. It's he's got a cool little spot down there. It's right by the river, so you guys would like that.
Yeah, I kind of got a kick out of the one guest. You'll have to forgive me for getting his name, or the one guy who's on there quite a bit who just lets himself in, helps himself to minnows, and leaves
No
you on the way out.
Probably Scott.
Yeah,
I need a deal like that. I had a blast doing that show. I really did. It was awesome. What a great bunch of guys.
Yeah, they are.
So back to ice, and we'd started talking about you having your boat out there. You were telling us you have an acquaintance that had an unfortunate accident come up here, and granted, we talk a lot, and people say they're scared, and other people think they got cojones of steel, but you really got to be careful out there. And why don't we hear one of the bad examples of what could happen out on the
Yeah, horrible. Obviously not going to say names or anything like that,
Right.
but he last weekend he dropped his Jeep in the Croy, and is a guy that knows the river better than anyone, and that just goes to show it can happen to anyone at any time. There was a little snow or a lot of snow blowing. It was dark. He got turned around and went the wrong way and ended up dropping his Jeep through in almost 30 feet of water. And thank God he got out. He's one of my best friends. So
yeah, that's a
Thank
terrible thing to happen to anybody. Yeah, I know that you guys. I've seen you on the water, like I said, when it was froze over, and I know that it happens all the time. But my sphincter would tighten up pretty tight going across the water in my vehicle now. It just would.
it doesn't. It doesn't. As long as if I know it's good ice, I don't really even think about it. I roll with my windows down, and I should run with picks around my neck. A lot of guys run picks because
Explain that, please.
I'm pretty heavy. I wish I had them next to me, but they're just there's a little tether cord with the pick. You grab a handle on each one. Mine retract once you push them down, and you can actually grab the ice to get up onto the ice if you fall through.
If you want, mine's about 15 feet away from me. You want me to go grab them so we can explain them to the people?
Yep, sure.
I'll be right
That'd
back.
be great. Luke, I told you about these. Look at this.
Yeah, that's some light. That's panfish rod there. Wow.
Noodle stuff
Yeah.
in production. But this is the one I like.
Which one is that?
33 inches of ice fishing machine.
What is it? Is it glass?
Yes. And this is a rubber band because that keeps it from moving in and off as I build them.
My bad. I left them in my truck. You'll have to forgive me for that. I thought I had them.
I have mine 15 feet from me. Let me go get mine.
All right, that'll work. Those
Dockery will be so
Lyle.
proud.
You,
Dockery will be so proud.
you got mine and Dockery's shipping address, right?
I do.
All right, good. That's
Chad don't get one. Chad don't fish ice fish. You don't even know what ice looks like, I don't think. He's
This
so
is
far
true.
south.
I don't think
This,
you really
this
care.
noodle rod, I think, will be a lot of fun. I am going to keep the first two that I built because these have 4 guides on them, or 3 guides plus the tip.
You need to keep the first one so you can put them in the Lyle Stokes Museum. That's what you tell
Well,
them.
I'm going to go catch crappie and bluegill on it.
There you go. You
It
got
has 2 guides on it. I see no reason for the 3 guides. The reason why I put 3 guides on it because everybody says, "Oh, you got to have more guides, more guides. You got to have 8, 10, 15." 1 guide per foot plus 1 is all you ever need on any rod. If you got more than that on it, the blank's too cheap. Throw the damn thing away and get you a quality piece of equipment.
You watch your damn mouth, Lyle.
Okay.
Is there no? Do you believe that to be true? Even if you're using like a 1 and a 2 pound?
Yes. One guide per blank per foot on any rod. If you have to have more guides on it than that to keep it off,
And some of the cheap
cheap.
Firm and Fleet ones I buy for like $18, they usually have a whole bunch of guides on there.
Yeah.
So, to be honest,
But that's why. It's because they just can't keep them off the blank any other way. Yeah. People think that more guides make them better. They don't make them better. It just adds weight to them. That's what you're trying to stay away with any rod is weight.
so those
Trust me.
This is my picks, boys.
Okay, cool.
So when you hold, this goes around your neck. It's just a stretchy, and when you press them down, when you push them into the ice, That comes up.
It's like a hypodermic needle.
So they're safe when you can't stab yourself very easily. But when you jam it into the ice, you can grab yourself and get yourself out of the ice. My fat body, I probably still couldn't
I
get
would
it.
need that.
That's why I like my float suit.
How much are those, Luke?
Roll out like a walrus.
Not very much.
10, 15 bucks, 20?
No, like $5-10.
Yeah, bait shop.
Anybody that doesn't have one of them, but anything happens to them, be their own fault. For that
I
kind of
always tell
money,
people, like, I got a float suit. Makes me feel comfortable, but that's pretty much just so they find me after I'm dead.
so now a float suit will raise you up through the hole you fall through. Is that correct?
It's pretty much a giant life jacket.
Okay. I think that's another thing that's a safety factor that anybody that's fishing on remotely sketchy ice should have.
Yeah, you can watch some people test them, and my buddy tested his striker suit. His head didn't even get wet when he jumped in.
Wow.
His head didn't get wet when he jumped in.
Yeah, it's buoyant.
That's the kind I want right there.
Yeah.
Striker, holler at your boy Lyle.
What's that?
Because the strikers ain't cheap, but they're well worth it. How much is your life worth? That's what you got to ask yourself.
Well, I guess that's right. Yeah, but striker suits are pretty expensive. Even just the ones that they come out with that keeps you warm.
Yeah.
Are really expensive. But let's face it, so's the 100-mile-an-hour suits and a guide wear and all that stuff. But they're not quite as expensive as the striker stuff. But they tell me, and I've not ever had one of them on, but I understand that they are probably the best that's made on the market today.
Yeah, there's a lot of companies now that are coming out with float suits that are actually pretty comparable in terms of quality and how they feel. And I'm a striker fan, but I know like other people that run Norfin suits and other guys that run Eskimo suits. Some guys run whatever suits that they make float suits for. But
is out of the game now, right? Because I was looking at some Frable stuff this year, and they don't have it anymore.
We've got two sets, and I love them both. They're great piece of equipment, but I think they did stop making them.
I think so.
The Bubble Bay of ice fishing? No, sir, I do not.
There's a limit to all you had mentioned Norfin, which I'm considering replacing my boots when they're ready to be replaced with some of those new Norfin ones. They literally weigh like nothing. I remember someone gave me one to pick up, and I was surprised. It was like putting a paper bag over your hands. Well, not that light, but pretty darn light. Where I'm running Baffins right now, and they're pretty darn heavy.
What Baffins?
What are the 120 degree below zero ones? Where I forgot what the name of the ones are. They're the better ones, the ones rated for colder. I don't wear socks in them, that's for sure.
I wear Baffin Titans. They're all rubber.
These have like a cloth on the top or canvas, maybe.
So mine are for 148 below. That's probably just
it's probably the step up. Let me take a look.
Hey, Luke, that's your buddy Ryan Repke. Screw work. Listening to this is better.
Ryan's a good man.
Yes, he is.
Welcome to the show, Ryan.
Here's another good guy right there, Mad Catter Catfishing.
He called us beautiful people.
He's a beautiful guy.
Maybe he's not getting good focus on his cameras.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
Everybody got the resolution turned all the way up.
He's a super nice guy. If you come to Mendota the next time, you'll meet him. He's a super nice guy.
Have I met him on Mendota, or does he go with you?
You might have the first time that I was up there when you was up there. That was a long time ago. But yeah, he was up there then.
Yeah, he's been going up there for years.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you guys. That's probably what I'm most excited for this spring is to get out there in my boat. I mean, not that there's any fish in there, so.
Guess what? I'm going to have Dockery and his wife Katie in my boat again this year. So you can imagine the fun we're going to have.
I broke my PB there last year.
Did you really?
Mm-hmm.
And what is your PB?
28.
28. All right. We had one guy, actually Betty, whose son just came home from a real bad, serious injuries. Her husband got a 29 point what, Lyle?
I don't know. I can remember mine, but just barely. It's been so long. Mine is 29.9.
I'm going
God,
after 30. I might spend 2 weeks chasing it this
I'm
year.
at 30 or bust now, boys.
That's it. That's the way with me. This year,
And
I'm going after a 30.
For people that don't know what we're talking about, we're not talking about 30 and 12. We're talking about 30-pound channel cat.
That's right.
You know what I love about that place is when you get leaving like a 16-pounder in that shallow water and they start doing tail stands. That blows my mind.
That's amazing.
So much fun.
It is.
This is
My phone's starting to lose audio. I'm going to back out and come in again, boys.
All right, come on in. Yeah, so we are looking forward to that trip, aren't we, Lyle?
Oh, I can't wait. If it was April today, I'd be wishing it was May.
Hey, Richard says his PB is 28 pounds.
That's a giant, man.
Welcome back, Luke. Can you hear us now?
It just does that every like 20 minutes. It's weird.
You know, I believe that's an internet connection issue because that happens with some of the guests that I've had on in the past and on some other shows where their connection just kind of slows down a little for whatever reason. Like somebody's loading up the housewives of whatever.
I got 500 gig. I got 500 gig internet. It ain't slowing down.
It shouldn't? Okay, never mind. Forget I said that. I'm old.
Trophy Seeker Outdoors says, I live in Georgia. What is this ice fishing thing you speak of?
You know what I tell people that say that to me? I said, those who know. I mean, it is what it is. It's kind of a lifestyle. It extends your fishing season when you have a short one to begin with. You got to experience it to understand it. And I've had a bunch of people approach me this year, last year, before that actually want to come up here and do it. And they're always welcome to. My problem is we got to go up north, and I'm not too familiar with the fishing up north because I kind of stay close to home when I'm ice fishing. And our season's just so short here. We get a month, Luke. That's about it.
Oh, wow.
That's about it. And then it goes from, safe ice to not really bad unsafe ice. So I'm careful. Me being a gentleman of bigger stature, I got that watertight bung that keeps me off of it when it gets really sketchy. So
explain to everybody that's not from the Great White North what sketchy ice is, guys.
Honeycomb ice is the scary ice. When it starts breaking off in big chunks and it looks like a honeycomb, it's about done.
Yeah.
Also, edge ice can really do you in too if you're not careful.
Yep.
This ice towards the end of the season, it starts melting from the outside and works its way in.
Yep. The shore usually melts first. That's when I go fish Cascade in Idaho for perch. They're running planks for like 3-4 weeks out there just to get out on the ice because the ice out in the main lake is super safe, but the shore is wide open.
Yeah, a lot of guides, they'll build like bridges over the edge ice to get out onto like the big lakes, like up in Green Bay and stuff, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of lakes, especially spring-fed lakes too. Sometimes they're lakes with a lot of rock on the edge. They get warm faster on the edges, so you got to be making planks and building bridges. They build bridges across ice heaves too on the bigger lakes. The ice will bunch up and make a huge crack in the ice, so then they'll have like fees to get across the boards.
They use like cattle crossings and stuff like that, right? They'll put them over it and extend them, and I've seen that in videos and stuff. So
how thick does ice need to be safely to be on?
There's never truly safe ice. I'm just going to say that right now.
I agree with
But
that.
to walk on, I feel comfortable where I won't even think about it on 4 inches. If it's 2 inches, I'll go on it, but I won't be fishing deep water. I'll be fishing backwater stuff on 2 inches. Wow. And I'm a lot more careful because the ice moves as you walk sometimes.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
But to drive like a big truck like mine, I feel comfortable like 12 to 14 inches. 14, I feel comfortable driving my truck on.
Wow.
And what kind of truck are we talking about, just so people got a good idea?
Yeah, Silverado.
Silverado. That's a Minnesota way of saying it right there.
Chevy Silverado.
Cody Robinson says, Luke, I want to see some flathead videos this year. Used to love watching the Northwood angling videos. I would say stay tuned, buddy.
You're going to see a lot of flathead videos on my new channel.
Speaking of new channel,
Monday.
Anybody that's a moderator that wouldn't mind, please put up Fish on Luke's channel so everybody can go over and give him a sub and like. He's trying, like everyone else, to make it to 1,000. He started out all over again, and we want to help him all we can to get there.
And I did test my live. I can go live under 1,000. But even like people are saying, "Oh, you're start making money at 1,000." I won't, because I'm nowhere. I'm getting 1,000 too fast, where my watch hours aren't even going to be close to as much as I need.
You do a couple of your marathon lives, you'll catch up pretty quick. We'll help you get there too. We'll send a
Speaking of
bunch
which, are you planning on doing any of those night lives like you used to do?
Oh yes.
So you was the original guy that started going live for hours on end.
Yeah, started on Facebook.
Holding them in your hand like this, and then hold them in this hand like this with John the Door Builder and guys like that.
Yeah. Ginger Cat, Door Builder.
Right, yeah. For hours on end, and
6 to 8 hours holding my camera.
right.
You're gonna pay for that when you get to mine and Lyle's age. You know that, right, Luke?
I still paid for it.
Carpal tunnel like this.
Oh, I feel it. I feel it. Trust me.
I will never forget those. I never thought that my wife would ever watch anybody for any extended period of time fishing at night. And man, she was ate up with Luke Hentges, and we all was, because nobody else was doing it.
Yeah, half the time I didn't catch shit.
That's true. But you had a great time, and you had good guys on there with you.
Oh, I loved it. I had so much fun.
It was a
streaming.
blast.
That's where it shows like that was just a passion. Like there was no money in it. I just did it because I loved doing it.
Well, and let's face it, Luke, unless you got 50,000 subs, there's really no money in YouTube as far as YouTube itself.
To make a living, like
yeah, right. Now you get some bonuses for people that donate money to your channel, and sometimes you get sponsorships that donate money to your. And there's different ways of doing it, but as far as just money from YouTube, being monetized doesn't mean that much until you get a lot of subs.
No, like people make it a big deal. It's a start to something that could be bigger, is what it all
That's
is.
exactly right. Uncle Lou Rods, Lee says, is Luke still the T-Man?
Drank one today. Had my Lipton Pure Leaf at my desk today doing work and doing my year-end reports. I'm drinking that tea, man. I felt good.
I cannot believe they didn't pick you up for a sponsorship. I
know people that only drank it because I told people to drink it, and now they still haven't stopped drinking it. So
hey, I got to tell you, I got Miss Cindy's sweet tea that I drink all the time. So I'm not going to be buying none of that, but it's all good.
That's the old saying. You ever sick about not feeling manly enough or not being strong enough? Try Lipton Pure Leaf.
There you
That's
go.
all you need, right there.
Mike Turner says, I'm waiting for Luke to fish the Missouri River around Omaha. Would love to meet him.
I have a store in Omaha, so I'm going to be actually going there. Hopefully when this next COVID burst is done, I'm going to go there, but I don't think it'll be for cats. I go a little more south than that for the old blue cats, but close.
Stephen Turner, glad to see you in here tonight. You're correct. Subs don't mean much. It's views that everybody's after. That's what gets you. That's what makes you money. You're 100% correct on that.
Yep, but subs do correlate views typically.
Typically, yeah. And Creole's right. Dieter said that subs are for the ego and views are for the wallet. He said that for years.
That is as factual as you can get.
You remember we talked about this a while ago. Speaking of Dieter, we went to the Catfish Conference one year, and Doc and I had everything set up, and it was a Friday night, and we hadn't got to see anything, and you come by, and Dieter come by, and Doc and I dumped Catfish Weekly off on you and left you and Dieter there and took off and made a trip through the place to see everything and just left you running the show.
I didn't mind at all.
It was a blast, man.
Mm-hmm. Did you have fun talking to Dieter for however long it was?
Oh, I love Dieter.
Dieter's a good dude.
He's so controversial, it makes me smile. He doesn't care about what people think when he says something.
No, he don't.
And I appreciate that about him.
He don't care if the sun comes up. Lee says if you watch Luke enough, you're bound to start drinking it. Said 1-2, he'd stop by Big Sue for the first.
That's funny.
Oh man! Do
So
you
what
know
kind of
Lee?
electronics are you running on the ice, Luke?
I run a Markham LX7 and then a Vexlar FL8 for like
The Markham.
super shallow backwater stuff. I run my Vexlar because I don't need zoom. I don't need anything crazy.
You don't need any of that. I had like SK come into my live yesterday, and he was definitely asking about what the electronics were. So I took some pictures to show everybody here. So I run a Markham HD Pursuit camera, which is actual video camera that records. You said you just purchased one of these, right?
Yep.
All right, and then this is my Markham LX7, which is the same unit that Luke runs with the lithium battery. We'll wait for Luke to get back here.
Yeah, I have a question for him. That was
He's probably went to go grab his stuff.
Yeah, since you already have a Markham out, this is my Vexlar. So
That's a nice lightweight unit, not as big. This one's pretty tall, and of course I have this running in simulation mode. And that's the. Did you see this setup I have on there? I got it set up like that with the extension. It works pretty good. So I got the camera and there, and then here's like the last. Oh wait, how did that get in there?
What?
I'd like to thank the subscriber who sent that to me. I appreciate you. I told you I'd get it in there. I can send you guys copies of those if you like.
Oh, that's funny. I need that to be a sticker.
It's a decal.
Yeah, that went a long way to
Lady Dockery, get on it, would you please? Speaking of which, Luke, I got a message in chat from my good buddy James. He says, does Luke have any fishing goals he wants to hit this year?
Fishing goals as in like personal bests?
Goals.
Well, you had a list, or like a bucket list of fish last year when I tried to get you on my show. And I remember you talking about that. How has that gone? I think a Xander was on the list. That perch was on the list.
I'm probably going to go do Xander this winter in North Dakota. I really want to catch a 30-pound channel cat, like real bad.
Me too.
Like I've been in the 28s now. I feel like it's time.
That's my goal when we head to Wisconsin. My goal is for a 30-pound.
Same here.
And I'm not going to be happy. I'll be thrilled to be there catching fish, but I won't be satisfied unless I get a 30.
If we happen to cross paths up there, I'll buy you an iced tea. How's that sound, bud?
I like that.
Yeah, it works.
So today I ordered a bunch of vinyl stickers of my zombie flathead.
Mm-hmm.
And I got one of the stickers in the mail today. I got 150 of these.
That's awesome.
You don't say fish on Luke.
No, these are just.
I'll give him the solo. Hold on, Luke. Let me give you the solo layout here. There
trying to not glare. There we go.
It's not too bad right there. That looks pretty good. They're 3D too, right?
Well, as 3D as you can get.
Yeah, they were laser refractor ones.
Looks pretty good.
Cool. And you got your hat, right? Because I remember you posting you had some select.
Yeah, right here.
Look at that. See,
I need one of them.
There.
Cool.
I need one of them. Let's have do you have a link for them, or can somebody share his link? Are they on your web page?
You ain't getting those. All right.
What the?
No, I'm not there yet. I got to make a big order.
Okay.
And I haven't
decided. You get there.
I haven't decided if I want to ship hats yet. I might start just selling them at the bait shop.
Trust me, I know all about the hat issue. I've been there.
When you get to the point where they're for sale, you be sure and let me know.
I will. You'll see a post. I promise.
We'll touch bases before May. Maybe we can get something figured out and have it personally dropped off for me and Lyle. Maybe we can do that.
Yeah, I'll figure something out. I gotta make a big order, and it's expensive, so I gotta.
It does. It costs a lot of money to order that stuff. It really does.
It is.
It really does.
Chrissy Brown, how you doing, dear? All right, so what are some of your favorite species to chase on the ice?
Ooh, lake trout are definitely number one. I mean my biggest lake trout before my one out on. I went and, so people that don't know, right? Tucker into Bum. That's my Warzone partner on Call of Duty. Just so you guys know, that's one of my close buddies. He's a veteran. He's been here fishing with me before on the river, ice fishing. So
Very cool.
My favorite fish, man, 38 inches was my biggest lake trout I caught out of Duluth a couple years back. That's on our Northwoods channel. And then I went to Isle Royal and Lake Superior. We went like 70 miles one way in the boat to get out to where we fished, and I broke that.
That's a special place, ain't it, Isle Royal?
It's amazing. It's the most serene place in the United States. British Columbia is probably the most beautiful place I've ever fished, but Isle Royal, in terms of like serene and the camping and the quiet and the moose, and it's just so special. And we vertical jig there, so it's like ice fishing, but lake trout for ice fishing is really high. I really enjoy eel pout fishing a lot, burbot.
That's burbot for you people who've heard me talk about it.
And obviously I enjoy walleye fishing. It's cool. I would say I've probably put 200 on the ice already this winter.
Holy smokes.
Maybe more. I don't even know, to be
My
honest.
walleye game sucks, Luke. We got to talk.
I just go to the I ice fish the river. And so, funny story about ice fishing the river. I ice fish the river here in Minnesota. I don't even need to say what river. It's my last video on my channel, my Fish on Luke channel. And I got a message yesterday from a gentleman. He's like, "Hey, I just ice fished the spot you put on your video, and it was all slushed in. Do you have any other spots?" I was like, "You gotta go find them, man." I said, here's the tip. Go fall fishing in your boat. Figure out where they're going to be when the water gets cold, and then go ice fishing. And I said, I'm not telling you where to go. I said, I don't ever feel comfortable telling people to go ice fish the river, because if you take one wrong route to get to where you're fishing, if you go under on the river, you're dead.
You know, I'd messaged Spencer a long time ago when I first started my channel, and I'm like, man, you know, I'm answering all these questions, but somebody asked me where to fish. He says that's the only question that he won't answer, and I've taken that advice to heart. I've actually just had this in a different show that I was interviewed on. I was on somebody's late night show as the guest for one time. Thank you to Jody and Tom for having me. And that's like the one question I won't answer. I usually answer any question that anybody asks me except for where to go. So
yep, if I don't mention exactly where I'm at, what river I'm fishing, and I don't mention where I'm fishing, I'm not gonna tell you. And it's not because I'm greedy or selfish. I don't make videos to blow spots up. I don't want to piss everybody off. And everyone that I'm fishing by or fished with that has showed me these spots or I've found, we put a lot of time in, miles and miles of walking and trying different spots to find fish. I fish spots that I was shown from people. I'm not going to go blast their spots. There's a reason I filmed that spot on the river. It's a super well-known spot. And if you recognize it, you already know about it. And I'm not one to, especially special rivers like that, and it's so easy to fish out spots like that on rivers.
Is Ryan?
That's what happens.
Ryan's a friend of yours, right?
Ryan's he's a photo manipulator too, so he'll probably have fun with that.
Yeah, he probably got that picture on there. Sorry, you're at a time, man.
You was talking about people fishing spots, and what happens is they will drive up and down rivers looking for places you caught fish, and they will catch every fish in that spot.
Yep.
And maybe they'll be back tomorrow, maybe next week, maybe next month.
Mm-hmm.
They may not be back for 2 or 3 years. It just depends on the area and the type of fish you're fishing for.
Yeah.
And that's not fair, because you spent the time looking for them, finding them, patting them, making sure they was going to be there when you got there. And then somebody comes in just because they recognize a spot that you're doing some filming on and catches all the fish.
Yeah, I'll even tell some people that message me or I'm mutual friends with, I'd be like, I'm not going to tell you where to go, but if I ever have a spot, and you're welcome to come with me and fish it. And
right.
I hope to never see you there with 10 people when I come fish it. You know, it's, I mean, it is what it's common courtesy and in fishing. I'm the first to tell you, I've fished the shit out of spots people have told me about, but I don't bring groups there and I don't go tell everyone where I'm fishing. So
I have actually been in fishing tournaments and see guy pull up in front of other guys that has been watching a spot for a week to fish during a tournament and come to blows because the guy had a faster boat and got there and they knew they was going that spot. And they just seen them pull in, and they just darted in front of them, and they just go crazy about stuff like that. But it's sad, but that's part of the lifestyle that we choose.
I have like one bank spot that I might live stream from once in a great while, maybe once a year. But other than that, some of my bank spots are my most productive, like flathead grounds, and I won't put them up because I live in a pretty populated area. As soon as I showed somebody that, they'd know exactly where I was at. So
I need to sorry to be a buster of talking here. I got to back out and come in again.
All right, come on, do that. We'll be here.
We will be here.
I'm having a good time, Lyle. I like talking to Luke. He's a good dude. So make sure you guys go check on, all one word, Fish on Luke and YouTube. People have been posting his link, but if you enter Fish on Luke in the search bar, it'll take you there. Make sure you give him a sub. It'd be a good time. Guaranteed a lot of good things to come.
And while you're at it, watch some of his video and make a comment so that your sub will stick.
Will stick. You're right, Lyle. Thanks for reminding me. I'm bad at that.
It has to be done that way, or on a day or two, it's gone, and he gets no benefit out of it.
Mm-hmm. Welcome back. Look, we were just pushing your channel, trying to get you some more people to
Sorry, guys.
Watch. Hey, no.
Hey, that's no big deal.
It's only 2022. Aren't we supposed to have like flying cars by now? But we don't. So we make
George
Jetson, right?
George Jetson was supposed to have been in the 2022. If you go back and watch the Jetsons cartoons, that was supposed to be in 2022.
Yes, but before my time, Lyle.
Give me a break. Luke, you know who George Jetson is, don't you?
Of course. The Jetsons? Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course you do. So does Mark.
I forget he's the first. I forget he's the first son. He's not on my side yet. I'll buy him a few of those teas, and we'll see what happens.
That's like that. Not knowing who the Flintstones are.
That's right.
Yeah, I resemble Fred.
And he says, I'm sorry if this question has already been asked, but Luke, any advice on targeting yellow perch under the ice for the first time ice fishing adventure?
Yeah, fish deep basins off the weeds.
There you go. Deep basins off the weeds. That sounds like some good advice to me.
If there's no weeds, fish the basin.
There you go.
That's my perch tip of the day.
You catch a lot of perch.
I don't.
You're not a big fan?
More than me.
It's just because it's too easier because they're too small. Besides the big one that's on the thumbnail.
I don't hate perch fishing, but I'm typically trying to find crappies when I catch perch, and they're not very big.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
So that's why I go to Idaho every year and ice fish there.
Well, so let's you mentioned the magic word crappie. What are some of your tactics for finding crappie through the ice?
I want to be honest. I wouldn't call myself a great crappie fisherman.
Okay.
But I'll tell you this. At night, if you want to catch crappies, typically they're going to be outside the weeds or in the basins. Like I just went up to my parents the other week. I fished probably 100 yards, 80 yards past the weed line in the basin. And right at sundown, they all came in. I'm guessing they came out of the weeds, and it was a hammer fest for like an hour and a half, and then it was just done.
That could explain a lot. My crappie spot here is a small municipal lake, right, that doesn't allow nighttime fishing. And I drilled hundreds of holes looking for them in the basins and stuff, on walls, everywhere. And I just have a hard time in the winter. I've called and talked to a couple of guys that I know are crappie slayers and stuff, and they pointed out on the Navionics maps I sent them exactly where I was fishing, and they weren't there, and that probably explains every last bit of it to me. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, the guy I was telling you about, Matt Waldron, he's works for Vexlar. He's known like throughout the state to be like a panfish slayer. Like
cool.
That's his thing. So if you ever want someone that's good at that kind of stuff, that's definitely your guy.
Right on. I'm sure we'll get him on one of our channels, right, Lyle?
That's right. Tucker into Bum says winter crappie love the evening.
His name is so stupid.
Hey, whatever it takes.
Somebody like rewind it. I want to hear
Don't
Lyle
read
say
his,
Tucker.
do not read his name.
Say it again, Lyle. Come on. I want to make that my text tone. Every time Lyle
welcome,
texts me,
Tucker.
it's
You're a new
Tucker
one to
in
the
bum.
channel. We're happy to have you in chat. Oh man.
So what else you got going on with the channel? You got any videos getting ready to drop?
Yeah, I just got back from Florida a couple days ago. I went there when I left my house that morning to get to the airport. It was 22 below zero. When I got to Florida, it was 80, 100-degree temperature change when I got there.
22 below zero when you left your house.
That's without the wind chill.
I'm pretty sure I'm never moving up there.
And my parents was 44 below with the wind chill that morning.
So, there's some pretty brutal weather to be out fishing in, playing in, whatever, even especially working in, stuff like that. Have you ever thought about moving or are you home? Do you consider that climate in that area of the country to be home and always will be? Or what's your thought on that?
I just love I think the only thing that really keeps me here is probably all the rivers and the fisheries we have here. In terms of like, if I was gonna move somewhere, I think it would either be Alabama is probably one, Texas or Florida is probably one of those three. If I ever moved, right now with my career and stuff, I've been working for the same company for over 10 years now. So
you're not going anywhere.
Not right now, no.
Yeah, Kunass Outdoor Adventures. You do not know me very well.
I've heard Lyle say some pretty out
I try
there
to
stuff
watch
during
it.
live stream.
I really do, because we got a lot of kids that watch our shows, and I try to watch it. But Cindy keeps a handle on me pretty tight these days as I've got older because of the kids that watch the shows. But when you challenge me, I just gotta do it sometimes.
Yep.
I'm still waiting for him to mess up Itty Bitty Kitty Committee once on one of these shows.
I can see it happening. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's gonna happen. But
Don is asking where where in Minnesota are you located again? Don has that question once again.
Like southwest Minneapolis.
South Minneapolis. Cool.
Little suburb, little town.
All right, so we've enjoyed having you on here talking about ice fishing. How long does your season go for during the year? Like how many more weeks do you have of ice fishing left?
Couple months.
So
So you're into March?
Oh yeah. You can ice fish into March. I don't remember the date, but there's a date when permanents have to be off the lake. But yeah, you can ice fish in March. It just depends on the weather.
About buildings that they pull out on the ice. Permanent.
Yeah, big houses. Yeah.
You fishing those quite a bit, or?
Sometimes I'm ice fishing. Like two Thanksgivings ago, I was ice fishing the week of Thanksgiving.
Wow.
And that was backwater, shallow stuff, but. Yeah, it's a pretty long winter and cold. I mean, the average temperature, I think, in January, February is like 0 or 1 degree. It's freaking cold.
Speaking of itty bitty kitty committee,
call and you shall the phone gets picked up.
Man, great to see these people in here. We're having such a good time tonight. I hope everybody's enjoying the show, because it's not every day that we get a guest on here that Mark and I can either one ask a question and know that we're going to get the correct answer.
I wouldn't go that far, but
it works for me.
I'm not going to be the one to know you're not telling the truth. So
that's right.
I just started not too long ago. I don't have a lifetime of experience. So
Tara Lindsay says last day of February, I think, is it.
She was in my last video, guys.
Oh, hey, Tara, where you were catching the walleyes by all that timber, right?
Yep. I actually met her I met her last winter. The first time I met her, I think we had a mutual friend, or I don't even know if we had a mutual friend, but she messaged me about something, and I was like, well, let's go walleye fishing. So I said, meet me at this parking lot in the middle of nowhere. And she showed up, and she jumped on the back of my snowmobile, and we went about 4 miles on this trail to the river. Never met her in my life. She hopped right on the sled. She must have trusted me.
Brave.
And I think we caught 22 walleye and a pike, and she outfished me. So it was a good day.
Isn't it usually the truth? The ladies always seem to outfish the men.
Well, it wasn't the truth last week, was it, Tara?
Oh, sorry.
Crappie Dave Fish on says, Luke, I'm originally from a small town by Rochester. I now live close to Lyle.
Rochester, home of the Mayo Clinic.
Great place. I know some guys that had disorders with healing, and they sent them up there, and they was doing testing and putting sponges in sores and stuff to keep them from bleeding all the time. Great hospital.
My childhood friend's a PhD professor at the Mayo.
Oh,
way cool. Way cool.
Now, I'm going to put this up on screen. I hate to do this to you, Ryan, but did you know that Luke's going to be on Catfish Weekly this Monday? You might want to ask him that question then. I'm going to leave you hanging. He's a local here. He's a friend of mine, so I'm going to leave him hanging. Sorry, bud.
Bullheads will be one of the topics that we will cover Monday night.
Yeah, I love my bullheads and those adipose fins, boys. Let me tell you.
They'll mess you up. Hey, you do. Let me ask you this: you ever catch any bullheads through the ice?
No, but you can do it. You can do it.
I've catch my biggest ones through the ice.
Yeah,
all things, but like those Euro
Z vibers.
Yes, the Z vibers. I catch them on there. I'll tip them with waxies, and for some reason they go crazy. I got one that was like for over here, 1.5 pounds out of a pound is a big bullhead.
I'll be honest, I don't really ice fish anywhere that has a lot of bullheads.
Okay, I can't keep. I mean, I can't catch them in the summer out of this spot, but I can catch them all winter long, and they're pretty awesome looking. First one I caught, I swear to God, I thought it was a baby flathead somebody threw in there.
Am I going to be on Am I on Chadfish next week too?
No,
Chadfish. No, we don't even talk about Chadfish.
Yeah, let's take that off the screen there. There we go.
Hey, JBT, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good too.
What we got here? What to fish lake? You're gonna have to pronounce that.
Sakakawea in North Dakota. It's the dam off the Missouri River. The Garrison Spillway is the bottom of Sakakawea.
Okay.
Hey, we got a message here from Miss D. I'll tell you here in a second. We need everybody needs to have some prayers for Philip Williams. I guess he had a stroke. That's all the details I have.
Oh,
so
man.
If you guys have it in your heart to share your prayers out, keep him in them, please. So Philip's a big watcher of all our shows, and this
Absolutely,
one, we appreciate you. I think I just talked to him yesterday in a live chat. So Philip, hang in there, buddy. We're pulling for you.
Absolutely.
Oh, and those boots that I have, I know I looked them up. I don't know if I told you. Were the Impacts. Those are the ones I've been using.
Okay. They have a single strap on them?
Yep, the single strap ones. I like them. They work well, for my climate, definitely.
Jacob has those.
Linda Cox says a friend of hers that lives in upper Minnesota said the weather there is 8 months winter and 3.5 months spring and summer.
It's not quite that bad, but it feels like it.
Hey, Luke, do you ever get into any of the spearing? I know there's a big spearing community up there. I know it's a very polarizing topic. Have you had a chance to do that, or do you just not do it?
I've been spearing. I speared suckers more than I've speared pike, but I don't. Man, I'd so much rather watch them come in and eat my bait.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Well, now that you bring that up, let's talk a little bit about sight fishing. Maybe you can explain to people everything from like the size of the hole that you need to sight fish to how you go about it.
Give me a 10-second break to get audio back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then we'll discuss that.
That works.
Right. Yeah, Creole sharing out Luke's link again. So why don't you guys
see the message your brothers left?
I'm sorry?
Did you see the message your brother left?
No, I blocked him already. I don't see him.
Okay.
I blocked him from my vision, so I don't see his comments. If he wants to relay it through D, I'll be more than happy to read it. D post on it, but not Chad. All right, so back to sight fishing. Can you explain to them exactly how you sight fish on the ice?
Yeah, lost audio again. Let me try one more time.
All right, cool. We got prayers for Philip from Chad. I'll read that definitely. Everybody giving out prayers, so that's awesome. You gonna let him in, Lyle? Let him back in, or I can do it?
Absolutely.
All right, cool.
All right, there we go, boys.
Good deal.
So we're talking about sight fishing. What do you want to know about it?
Maybe explain to them. I don't think they realized like the size of the hole that you need to sight fish through.
You don't need when it's super clear, you don't need a giant hole, but I enjoy a giant when it's opening up. So I'll do.
Careful with your words there.
I was just thinking of that.
Lyle.
This is the one time.
It makes me happy.
This is the one time. The bigger the hole, the better. To be honest with you, but so I'll corner drill 4 holes. Usually it's about a 4-foot hole.
Mm-hmm.
I'll drill. Pretend it's like connect the dots. I'll drill each corner, and then I'll drill one in the middle, and then I have a ice saw that I use to connect the dots, and then
and they look like some medieval weapon, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And then
cool.
Like up north, like I was telling these guys before the podcast, my parents' lake that I grew up on, 22-foot clarity, and then there's another lake I fished with over 30-foot clarity, and you can watch everything. You can be in 20, 30 feet of water and sight fish the whole day until it gets dark. And that's last winter. I was sight fishing all day on this rock point in about 22 feet of water, and the sun went down, and I was like, well, let's wait it out. The first walleye I caught last winter was over 31 inches, so it was a solid one. Yeah.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around that, to be able to see 30 foot down in water.
You should see the Lake Superior when you ice fish it. It's crazy.
I would love to, I guess, because we don't have that kind of clarity around
You
here.
must have missed the part where he said ice fish Lake Superior, Lyle.
It's so clear, you guys. In the winter, it's nuts.
Hey, I think Don R., I love you, man, but I think you need to put the drink down. Did you see what he said about us, Lyle?
Maybe his audio's not working.
Maybe his audio's not working.
Come out, come back in. Oh man. Matt says, if you all in chat would put up prayers for my daughter Grace, she dislocated her knee yesterday and she's pretty significant pain. We would sure enough do that for you, Matt. Thank you for letting us know.
Yeah, Matt had sent me pictures. We didn't know what the extent, or I didn't know what the extent of the damage is, so definitely we'll include her in all of that. So
there's so many people in our fishing world that has some kind of problem, issue, or something going on. And anytime that any of you have anything like that you want thoughts and prayers about, do not hesitate. We will gladly put it up. And if for some reason that we miss it, put it up again or private message one of us. We'll be happy to do that for you, because the word of prayer, whether you believe it or not, makes a huge difference in a lot of people's lives. It really does.
I agree. We're nothing if we don't have each other, guys. So we got
the fact that people they know you're thinking about you and brings up their spirits enough,
I agree 100%. I sure do.
Hey, Papa Ed does have a good question. I saw almost scroll off the screen, but he says, how are the Chinese aqua cameras? Any experience with those?
Junk.
That's what I'm learning too.
There you go.
They work, but they're nothing compared to the good, like the Aquaviews and the Markhams. They're not even comparable.
Did you see that new Aquaview that's got like 4 lenses on it? You can see all the way around.
We had an HD9 from Aquaview. They sent us one. And it was okay, but I think this Markham will be a lot easier to run and record.
Cool.
Now, Mark, do you need Dockery and I to help you shop for one?
No, I'm good. I already got
one. Are you sure?
Here, real quick. I want to make sure that I. Man, I lost it. I was going to show that picture of you guys in each other's arms again.
Dockery and I would be glad to help you go shopping. We did that one night, and it worked out really well.
Like $350 of my dollars on me. And here's another story. You remember we were talking a little bit about live streaming and having audio problems with my phone, right? Well, these guys pop into my live while I'm crappie fishing, and I'm like, "All right, you guys can MC. I can't hear you, so say whatever you want."
And we did.
Disaster. Oh my god, it was a roast for 3 hours straight. But I was happy to have him on there. We had a good time.
I cannot say that we didn't do that because it was too much fun. Luke, you sent me some pictures a while ago before the show started of your ice fishing rods. Would you like to share them with everybody?
Yeah, I can show off some of them.
Cool.
Heck yeah. Or anything else you got?
I got a lot. I don't think we should go there. I got a ton of stuff. So this is an ice sturgeon rod made from my good friend Mr. Andy Wolfram Custom Rods, and this is it's heavy.
Badass, ain't it?
It's heavy, spinning, and then I have a baitcaster version, which I actually don't. I like spinning a lot more.
Why?
Because when you're fighting sturgeon, they're really heavy, and you can rest the butt of the spinning reel under your forearm, and you can get a lot more leverage. When you're using a baitcaster, it's on top, and it's really awkward when you're fighting a big fish through the ice on the baitcaster, because it's not small enough where you can thumb it and just like hold on to it, and they pull so hard.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You want that forearm control. It literally saves your forearms when you're fighting those fish for 10 minutes on the ice.
Yeah, most ice rods, they got short butt handles on them, right?
Yep.
They're meant to be held kind of like a pencil. If you can show the people at home what they're like meant to be held.
And that's the thing that Andy and so many custom guys do. You can build them any way you want with any length, rear grip, foregrip, or anything like that you want.
Yeah, I did see a brand that came out where they actually have interchangeable grips. I'm not going to mention the brand or anything, but I think you know what I'm talking about, where you can actually do that and have longer or shorter
butts
on the end. So pretty cool.
Yep. And then I picked up 2 new rods recently. These are the Frostbite Smoke Show. This is
that's actually the brand I was talking about, the Frostbite.
This is the Smoke Show. This is a 37-inch glass rod. This is for my iFish Pro.
Now, real quick, can you show us the handle real quick? I want to bring something to these people's attention too. Now, the way the reel's on there, what are you using? Are those bull bands or what?
No, those are straight up legit.
They're legit.
Them are metal.
Bands. They're pretty much just like oversized rubber bands, right?
So I have another 39-inch graphite rod that I got from Frostbite that I actually like a lot. But this is my Wolfram rod. This is my river jigging rod. Mm-hmm. And this reel seat's much more compact, and I prefer this a lot.
Yeah, my St. Croix is kind of like that, if anything. Yeah, see, you hold it like a pencil almost.
Yeah. These Fluger, these are cheap reels. They're called Fluger Monarch ice rails. They're only like $30, and they have extended shanks.
So
your hand doesn't get in the way of the reel. It's a lot longer shank on them.
Now, do you use the what are they called, the inline reels at all?
I bought 2 of them once, and I didn't. I don't run enough tungsten stuff and small stuff. Mm-hmm. They're really good for that.
Yeah, that's how come I use them, because that's a big part of what I'm chasing. So
show you guys my new jigs I just picked up the other day.
Now, are those the ones that your friend paints for you?
Yeah, some of these are his.
Nick, I believe his name is, right?
Can you put that full screen quick so I can see that?
Oh, there you go, Lyle. Got it.
Yeah, he's got some crazy ones. All the ones except those.
Now, how does he get those bumps on there? They're not even painted. Those are actual like not even dimples, but they're actually like bumps on there, right?
Yeah, he paints them.
Okay, so.
But they're all hand painted, all his. That's the Everlasting Gobstopper, the one on the right, that one. And then he's got, these are sweet. Here I don't know if I can. See if I can turn off my lights and show you how much they glow. But yeah, they're cool. I just picked those up. I haven't used them yet. But I'm proud of his work. He does a super good job.
Yeah, I became friends with him on Facebook, and I'm really tempted to buy some of his stuff. But right now isn't the time unless Lyle finds out about it. I sent him. There's Nick right there. There he is right there. Oh, he better start using more tungsten.
Yeah, that's your one plug, Tuzna, North Star Jigs.
Check him out on Facebook.
Yes, it does.
I'll give a link if you want to keep the show going, Lyle.
What's that?
Keep the show going. I'll get a link. I'll get a link to Nick's Facebook page.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I'm no hurry unless you guys are wanting to leave.
I'm in no hurry. I'm playing Wars. Tucker looks like he's still in chat. So I mean, that's my Call of Duty partner. So we're not in the war zone yet.
All right.
Do you want to share your Call of Duty call sign in case somebody in chat has a kid or something that wants to play with you, or not is understandable too?
I would prefer not to.
Okay, good. I just figured I'd bring it up because some people like to share that stuff and some don't. What's the name of the company again?
If people are interested in my stats, I have almost 400 wins in Warzone, just to give you an idea.
I don't know what that means.
Jigs, there we go.
Don R. says, Fish on Luke, I work at the hatchery at the Garrison Dam. Our burbot should be spawning next week.
Spawning already?
It looks
that
like
might be some good information for you.
Well, I think he went to the hatchery.
Ours don't spawn in the lakes I fish till ice out.
Really?
Yeah. Same time the perch spawn in Idaho is right when the ice comes out, they spawn. It's the same time the burbot spawn up north.
I just shared the North Star jigs out there, so if you guys are interested in some of them, they work in open water, not just ice water. I know that Docker uses them, and I use them when they're real finicky or if I'm going after. I've been known to use a tungsten when I'm fishing for chubs, to be honest with you. I can get them to drop pretty quick. And
the great Maurice Cason.
Original son.
Tell you what, I'm so thankful to have Maurice around because he's supported me forever.
He is the best, isn't he?
I agree. Maurice is the man.
If there is a person that deserves to win an award in the Golden Whiskers for being the greatest supporter of everybody's channel, he
will win every year.
He should win every year. I agree. Yes. He's the best.
I got to take him fishing.
That'd be
he actually got a trip from the guy, what's his name, from Catfish Karma. I can't believe I forgot his name. He was on my show. Forgive me if you're out there listening. I talked to him on the phone quite a bit, actually. But I'm curious to see if he went out there fishing outside of Memphis there. He had a chance to go catfishing with him and his wife. So you hear that, Maurice? If you got an open invite with Luke, too.
Yeah, he's been in so many of my streams. I owe him that. I mean, it's crazy.
Absolutely. Tucker says he chases bluegill a lot, and tungsten is the way to go. Can you explain why tungsten is better than lead?
For bluegill, you get a lot drop. So here's the thing with like crappie and stuff. Tungsten is not always the best to use. Mm-hmm. To be straight honest, they sometimes want a slower drop, and tungsten falls fast. Like when you want to get down there and get in front of a fish, tungsten, they're smaller, but they act heavy, that's what's sweet about tungsten. But sometimes there are times when the panfish want a slower drop, and tungsten is not the way to go. But it's just a bluegill, I would say yes, tungsten always.
Yeah, that's why they come in basically 3 different sizes each one. So if you like a color, you got to buy 3 of them, 1 of each one. Yeah. And tungsten's not that cheap either. So if you can get away with a lead jig, especially in the summer, it's there. But I've used them in the summer in certain scenarios. So mostly just messing around. It's like, gee, I wonder what this will do, if it'll up or not. So
do burbot really hibernate in the summer?
They do not go into torpor, especially in the summer. No.
Okay.
They go deep, and you can catch them in the summer. Go real deep. They're a ling. I mean, they don't stop eating when the water gets warmer. We'll just say that.
Neither do I.
Exactly. They just aren't in the same spots. We'll just say that.
See, look at this. Now, I don't need to hear that, Nick. That's going to be a problem for me.
He made a big order to his distributor, and he's getting sickle hooks with all of those sizes, you guys.
I just
wow, cool.
He's getting like way better hooks than that come on the tungstens, and it's gonna be sick.
That's awesome.
He's doing it. Took me 2 years to convince him to do it, but he's doing it now.
There you go. Nick.
Muddy Water Bait and Tackle in the house. What's going on? They're good sponsors. Everybody, they have a bait shop in Kentucky, or a bait and tackle shop in Kentucky, and they play all of these live streams and all of the fishing live streams in their bait shop for their clients to see. So a lot of times,
cool.
clients actually give them money and they'll send them to us in super chats. It's kind of funny.
I did. Someone did comment and ask if I go to Texas for gar. I'm not going to get into gar fishing tonight, but I do go to Texas for gar. Yes,
he does, and he kills it.
We do pretty well.
Kills it.
On my list.
Not on mine, but they do look like it'd be a lot of fun.
It's awesome.
Yeah. I just we fought them so bad years ago that I have no desire to catch them.
I feel you.
Yeah, I mean it's just the way it is. That's like the sturgeon. I just have zero, unless I go to Oregon or somewhere where they get to be 8 foot long. I have no desire to catch one ever again.
That's like when I took Spencer out, a river certified. When I took him and his wife out for their anniversary, I didn't expect him to get a hold of me. I mean, I've been friends with Spencer for a long time, but he messaged me or called me and he's like, "Hey, it's me and my wife's anniversary. We're coming up to spend time together. Will you take us fishing? Because my wife really wants to catch a sturgeon." Dude, we crushed sturgeon that night. And Spencer has no interest in sturgeon. He likes fishing for them, but he's like, they're boring fish. And I was like, but they fight so dang good. Nothing fights harder than them in the Midwest. So, I mean, but yes, Lyle, white sturgeon, if you ever get a chance.
Yeah, I would do that. I'd go out to Oregon.
It's another one on my list. That's on my list.
A lot of fun.
Road trips planned for this year. I need to highlight that just so Chad can see it. Oh my gosh. I didn't know Catfish and Crappie was on here. Huge fan. But then he kind of made me feel self-conscious. Says, I listen to Catfish and Crappie every week while I walk my dog. Keeps me fit. At least one of us is keeping fit. That's why I wanted to highlight that one. But more power to you. I'm happy I can entertain you on your walks.
Oh man.
But I want to preface a few things in terms of ice fishing. Always have in mind that the ice is never truly safe.
I agree.
And I can't stress it enough after my best friend almost dying. So it's and that he just went the wrong way too far and got mixed up at night in the snow blowing, and it can happen to anybody. He's one of the smartest human beings I know, and he spends more time on the water than almost anyone I know, and it happened to him. So it just goes to show how pretty you gotta keep your eyes peeled and keep aware of your surroundings and make sure you know where you're going.
That's right.
And it shook me up pretty bad. I called him and he told me the other 2 nights ago, and we talked for like 30 minutes at like 1 a.m, and he's pretty shaken up, and I don't blame him.
You know, that's no different than fishing at night though. If it's cloudy night, no moon, no surroundings, or you're not used to being out on say the Missouri River or the Mississippi River, you could get turned around. If it's foggy is another instance where you could get turned around and get in a bad way really quick.
Yeah, really quick.
So, your brother.
Yeah, I saw that. Don't listen to him. Shine out. That's just Chad. My buddy. He's my brother from another mother.
Yeah, or something. Let me check. I've got some messages in.
Don't worry, bud. You're good. Don't worry. You didn't mess anybody up. Yeah, I definitely agree. There is no such real thing as safe ice. There's always danger out there. Yep. I mean, I've had a friend go through on a snowmobile, and that pretty much scared the death out of me. He hasn't been on the ice ever since.
The Wisconsin fisherman last year.
Not just him. I got a personal friend that.
Right, I understand, but I'm just saying.
I've been through
a lot.
Yeah, I've been through in some of that edge ice on shallow water and up to my waist, and I can imagine if it was up to my chest, the water being as cold as it was, it'll put the fear of God in you, even just that. So
yeah, I've fallen in before. It's not fun.
No,
yeah, I can't imagine it being. Can't imagine it being at all. Anybody got any more questions for Luke while we have him on here talking about ice fishing tonight?
Yeah, I'll answer anything. Any questions?
This would be a perfect time to do it because Monday we're going to be talking about catfishing.
Do you like movies about gladiators? That's a quote from Airplane. I always wanted to ask a guest that question. You seemed like I could get away with it, Luke.
I love the movie Gladiator. Does that count?
That counts. That's good. I'm dating myself. The old folks know what I'm talking about. River Eye says, does he know how to fish? I'm guessing he's a friend of yours.
River Eyes. Oh, he's a legend around here. He's my buddy I fish with. He's the one that taught me how to fish ice fish the river.
Cool. Well, welcome. We appreciate having you
We
here.
call him Backwater Brock. He's kind of first time I ever saw him ever in my life, I was in my boat on the river. This was before he had a boat. He's a shore guy, and he fishes backwaters, and he hikes miles and miles to find fish.
Wow.
And first time I saw him on the river, I was coming around the corner by the boat ramp, and I see a family, him, a woman, and 2 kids in a playpen on the side of the river. His kids were in a little playpen while they were fishing. I was like, that guy is hardcore.
He is hardcore. You're right.
Now his kids, like when you turn around and we're out fishing, his kids are they're up in 10 feet up in a tree. Those kids are tough kids, and that boy is probably one of the best sticks I know. So,
well, cool.
What else was
there? The real Shino says, it's not a dumb question. He says, I've got a question. Do you use live minnows for ice fishing? In the movies, they just use wax worms.
I use a lot of minnows.
Minnow heads, pinch them off.
Plastics and this is from Brock. This plastic's from Brock, but I like using this the other week. I like tricking them sometimes. It's fun to trick them without bait. But any dead stick, I run live bait or hot dogs. I use hot dogs for pike on tip ups too.
So that is possible. I've been trying to do it for 2 seasons.
It's not only possible; it works great.
It works great.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to continue that effort this year.
It's not a thing it's not like a joke or something. It's like we use hot dogs on tip ups.
Yeah, cool.
Is there any species that would simply won't be caught under the ice?
Yeah, flatheads. If you catch one, you snagged it.
That's right, 100%.
And if it ate it, you still targeted them on a wintering hole. So
that's right.
That's my stance on that. That's the fish.
That is 100% correct. Even if you catch it in the mouth, you snagged it. It didn't bite it.
Even if it did bite it, they're all sitting there in a pile.
Yeah,
it's very unsportsmanlike just to even target them in a wintering hole because they're just laying there.
We do agree on a lot of things, and that's one of the things we do agree on.
And that guy asked if those burbot hibernate. I'll give people a little biology lesson on some flathead knowledge, but he's speaking when they talk hibernate. People say flatheads hibernate. They don't hibernate. They're going to torpor. So that's just like so my parents have koi fish, and my parents put them in a plastic tub in the winter every year. They do not eat for 7 months in that tub, and they don't move, and they don't hardly lose any weight. And after 7 months of not eating, we put them back out in their pond after it thaws and start feeding them, and it's like nothing happened. They go into torpor. Flatheads go into torpor. It's a pretty special thing that they do to their bodies to not have to eat.
That's amazing.
Yep.
It really is. Any tips for catching northern pike, muskie, or walleye under the ice?
Northern pike, tip number 1. Fish high in the water column by weeds. They see up. They don't not see down for shit. Put your bait just under the ice or in the middle of the water column. Find broadleaf weeds if you want to catch pike or muskie. We can't fish muskie here in the winter. It's closed, but find any big leaf weeds underwater. If you can pull some up with your hook or something, find something broadleaf, or if you have a camera, if you can put your face over the hole. Anything where there's near bait fish, you're going to catch pike. And walleye, anything with structure, rock, gravel. They call them gravel lizards for a reason. If there's bait, they're going to eat that too. So,
have you fished Little Bay Dinock?
I didn't hear you, but I'm assuming you asked me if I fished Little Bay Dinock. I have not fished it. I lost audio again. So
okay.
Let me back up 1 second and come back before we finish the podcast.
All right, cool.
Okay. Luke is awesome. Yes, Brad, he is.
Definitely
He's a blast to be around. If you ever get a chance to meet him in person, you sure don't want to miss that opportunity.
Do you
What's
chase
the best
channel
way to
cats through
fish?
the ice at all?
Yeah, for channel cats.
Channel cats? Okay.
They still bite light though. It's not a so
No.
you can do it on it's called the Horseshoe Chain north by St. Cloud, north of the city. It's an hour and a half. A lot of people go out there and you can catch a lot of catfish in a day. They don't bite hard like you do. You can go fish that in like the spring and summer and bobber fish for them out there. It's super fun, but a lot of people go sit on them on the ice. But what's interesting about that is if you go to the Red River, which is the most channel cats per square mile anywhere on this planet, you cannot get one to bite on the ice. I've tried for a lot of years. My friend Forrest lived on the Red River. He tried every year growing up. Catching a channel cat on the Red River is very, very rare, and I think it has to do with because it's at the next climate level of cold,
Right.
that it changes something. Something changes from those ice channel cats to the ones around St. Cloud that will actually eat during the winter. I'm trying to push the study on that. I brought it up in our workshop meeting with the DNR. I kind of want to know why that people don't catch them on the winter on that river. But it's catching one even on the Minnesota's tough even when we're walleye fishing. It's weird, man. I don't understand them, but yeah, you can catch the crap out of them on the Horseshoe Chain. And then guys in Iowa ice fish the crap out of channel cats too and do really well.
Best tasting fish.
The best tasting fish now, it changed this year. Redfish is my favorite fish I've ever eaten.
Best tasted freshwater.
That I've cooked myself was redfish. Best tasting freshwater fish. I think in terms of what I enjoy the taste of the most is a really good winter deboned northern pike. I would take that over walleye.
Have you ever had pickled pike? Because I'm on a mission to make some. I haven't had some since I was a kid.
Had pike or pickled pike?
Pickled pike.
I make the crap out of pickled pike, and it's incredible.
Oh, I can't wait. I haven't had some since I was a kid. I'm out to make some this year. I'm going to give it a shot. So
I'll send you my recipe, and you'll really like it.
I'll take it. I will take it.
It's delicious.
Favorite person to fish with?
Ooh.
This is where you say Tara and score some points.
She's married.
Oh, never mind, Tara. Sorry. I'm trying to hook a brother up.
She's
sorry.
She's one of the boys, man.
Okay, good. We got plenty of them too. So
yeah. She just happens to be really attractive, but she's still one of the boys. I'm trying to think. Favorite person to fish with? Man.
You're going to get somebody mad. You got to be careful. Just like when you ask for all those lady anglers, you got to get careful how you ask questions like those. But
man, I don't know. I think
Tucker, you're the only person I've ever heard say pike's the best tasting fish.
I love
it. Tastes bad.
I've never heard that before.
I love pike, man. Fried pike is so tasty.
Really?
It's something about the big flaky, like it's just a super clean taste of it. I like it more than walleye. If we put it side by side, I'd probably like pike more.
Dan says pickerel.
That's a pike, pretty much. It's both Esox. I'm trying to think. Favorite person to fish with? You know, the guy that commented on there is actually probably in the top 5.
Cool.
Kilcher. I sent him to a backwater lake today to find some fish. He walked a long ways and didn't have a lot of success, so I kind of felt bad, but I really didn't.
I actually remember a lot of these names from your live feeds that was in there when you was doing them 3 or 4 nights a week. Man, that was so great.
Yeah, me and Kilcher are planning a Costa Rica trip soon. So
that's way cool. I'll be interested in that.
I can't think of a person that my favorite person to fish with. I don't know. The Northwoods trip are always fun with the boys.
Oh, them guys got to be a blast to fish with.
Jacob's super fun. Peter's super fun. Blake was fun to fish with. I think Jacob,
Blake got a Maserati.
He did, yeah.
Oh, he got rid of it?
Yeah.
Oh.
He had a Corvette too.
I don't care about that. If you ever worked on one of them, you wouldn't care about them either. But a Maserati,
Yeah.
I mean,
Kilcher in that picture, see that car in his picture?
It's too small.
Is that a Porsche?
That is a Porsche 911 Turbo, buddy.
There you go.
I would still rather ride in the Maserati.
Not me.
Not me. A buddy of mine's a Maserati salesman. We went for a couple of joyrides. I'll take
man.
And I used to make, we'll talk about it, but I had a friend who worked at a Porsche dealer too, so we had some exposure to that.
I'll tell you what, that Porsche is way faster than that Maserati was.
And they ride like they're on rails, man. Holy smokes.
That's the fastest 0 to 150 I've ever done in my life.
You let me have it for a couple of weeks, and I'll make that change.
Lyle will scare you to death, I think.
I had an 8-second Mustang, quarter mile. So yeah, that's my thing.
Yeah, I think that Porsche has just under 800 wheel, all-wheel drive.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
the all-wheel drive thing. It still baffles me a little bit when they get that kind of horsepower without braking stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh, I hear
a lot of moving parts to put that much oomph behind. So
yeah, it's a lot of turbo in that car.
Yeah.
Ooh, good show. That's the support from Maurice again.
There you go. 5 stars from Maurice. Thank you.
Thank you, Maurice. You're so kind. So kind. Luke, as always, it has been a pleasure having you on here.
You know what? There's nothing I like more than helping the elderly community. It's literally top
Did
of
you
my
say
list.
elderly?
What?
Did you?
Huh?
I will never forget the afternoon we was fishing for freedom in Quincy, Illinois. You come down, and you and I and Cindy got in the boat and went out on the Mississippi River. We didn't have any luck fishing really, but we had such a great time. I'll
always remember that day.
That was a blast.
That's the same day I met Kennedy.
Yeah.
Now we're really good friends.
He's a great guy. I give him a bunch of rods and stuff that test blanks and things people had sent me to build and try stuff on. And for whatever reason, I didn't like him. And he contacted me one year and he said, I've got a bunch of guys that we're trying to hook up with kayaks and different things and trying to get them. And we went to Fishing for Freedom and I took him a whole truckload of them. I don't know, 30 or 40 rods. And I said, here, dispense these, make them guys happy.
That's awesome.
There wasn't nothing wrong with them. Some of them never been used. I just, for whatever reason, if I don't like something, I'm not going to try to help them guys promote their product. And a lot of them was just that. And some of them I'd used and some of them other people used, but most of them never been used. And Daniel's a good guy. He really is.
Yes, he is.
You guys done started like car wars in the chat. See what you guys did?
Me and Creole's on the same wavelength.
I respect any well-built car. I'm not going to lie.
Absolutely, yeah.
Anything that'll make you feel like you're going to soil yourself is good by me.
That's exactly right. That's just like Stan. We was talking about Sturgeon a while ago, and I was kind of gouging at Stan a little bit. But, if I'm going to catch a sturgeon, I've caught so many of the damn things. The fishing for catfish, you just one right after another one when they're on fire, that I don't have a desire for them. Back in the old days, 50 years ago, them and gar, we just catch them and throw them up on the bank. Nobody told us you wasn't supposed to do that. That's what everybody done because we wanted to get rid of the nasty damn things. But if I was going to catch a sturgeon, I would go to Oregon or someplace out there and go after one of the 8-footers. That's what I do. I have no desire to catch one around my home waters just because they don't get that big, and I don't like catching them. I don't eat them. There's just and they don't fight like a blue. They do not fight like a blue or a flathead.
I'm going back for a 60 next fall. So just so you know, don't listen.
What's that?
I'm going back for a 60, Luke, next fall. I'm going to go up there and fish with Eric B and see if he can't put me on a 60-incher. So
you can go fish with me if you want a 60.
No, we can do that too. That works for me.
What an invite.
I'm sure Eric will go too. He has no problem with that.
A 50-pound 60-inch sturgeon would destroy my 100-pound blue cat.
I've never seen one. That's just like people talk about saltwater fish. I fish saltwater fish. They don't fight like a flathead or blue. They don't compare. Not even close.
I think saltwater destroys freshwater.
We fished out of a boat in Mexico, and I'm so disappointed. They just
Well, were you trolling or were you casting for? There's a little difference.
trolling.
There. Trolling, yeah.
Yeah, I was just. It wasn't that I was disappointed in catching the fish. They just. I know you caught the biggest one.
That was silly.
But they just don't fight as hard as a big blue or a giant flathead. They just don't.
You need to come catch a 50-inch sturgeon compared to a 40-pound. I'd say a 30-pound sturgeon compared to a 50-pound flathead. The sturgeon pulls 4 times harder.
But I'm going to guess that the biggest sturgeon that I ever caught was probably 30 pounds.
Were you catching shovel nose or lake or what?
Lake sturgeons. They just don't fight. And when I was growing up, now I'm talking about 50 years ago when I was 14, 15 years old, there was so many of them in the Mississippi River that commercial fishermen would catch them in their net and throw them up on the bank and get rid of them. They were so overpopulated. That's all you got when the water started getting cold. People hated them. They didn't want them around. And gar was the same way. We used to have alligator gar in the Mississippi River in our area.
Yeah.
But they was such a pain in the ass that people wanted them gone. Now that they're gone, now they're trying to bring them back. And the reason they're trying to bring them back is because of the Asian carp. Well, I promise you, them blues and flatheads eat more Asian carp than them gars ever going to because there's so many more of them.
For sure.
Yeah. But yeah, the sturgeon, a 200 or 300 pound sturgeon, yeah, that's a different situation. Lake sturgeon, as far as I know, don't get that big.
No, our state record is probably weighed about 140.
That's a big sturgeon. That's a big lake sturgeon. But I'm guessing 30 pounds was the biggest one I've probably ever seen. Now, they used to catch them commercially, and they'd smoke them, and they was really good.
I have a feeling you didn't get big enough sturgeon because they don't really start getting good to fight until you get them a little bit bigger.
That could very well be, yeah.
This conversation will happen again on Monday. I guarantee it.
Oh, it will.
Philip Williams, we were just talking about you, my friend. Glad to see you in chat. Hopefully you're feeling yourself. At least you're good enough to show up, which is a good sign. All right, Philip is the one that was having the stroke.
Absolutely. We're glad to see you in here tonight, my friend.
Take care of yourself. Do what you got to do, my friend.
I know Brent Riddle went out to Oregon and ended up, something happened a few years ago when he didn't get to go with the guide that he had supposedly went to fish the big sturgeon out there. And they hooked him up with another guy that was in Canada. And they took him to, I believe, the Snake River. I'm not 100% sure on that. Maybe
it's in Idaho.
Okay. The weather wasn't working, so he didn't get to do that. They had to take him somewhere else. And he got on a giant out there. This is an absolute giant. And one of those, I can see where that'd be fun. Just a minute, baby. But, yeah, like I say, when I was growing up, they was hated so bad around here because they were so overpopulated.
And now they're protected.
That's the way it works, though. You know,
old timers like you killed them all.
I'm glad you said
to do that because nobody wanted them around. They just didn't want them around. But it doesn't matter if it's a sturgeon or a blue cat or if it's a bluegill. If you're in Mississippi, Missouri current, there ain't nothing fights like that. That the current that we have in those two rivers are greater than anything anywhere else in the United States that I've ever been. So unless you fish those rivers, and I know that you have, you can't understand the fight. And those fish of all breeds, they know how to use that current to their advantage, and they're going to do it because they're trying to survive.
My 330-pound white sturgeon that I got into the main current out of the pocket, which you don't want them to get out into. 21-mile-an-hour current.
Ooh. Holy crap! That's worse than I've ever seen.
You're going to the next pool with it.
How far do you have to chase them down?
You just follow them to the next pool and try to drag them into it. That's all you can do.
Now, when you say next pool, did you have to go through a dam?
No, slack pools on corners and like
Slack
rock
pools, okay.
ledges.
Okay.
Because you're not fishing the fast current, you're fishing the edge of it, and in the slacker water. If they get out into the current to lose you got to chase them down. You are not stopping a 300-pound fish in 21-mile-an-hour main current. I'll tell you that.
Wow, that's amazing.
I didn't know that. Talk about lower back pain. Those fish will give you that.
Welcome to Sturgeon
around.
Nation, people. We're changing the name of the show. Lyle might not like it, but
I'm doing my first YouTube live stream this weekend, sturgeon fishing. If you want to watch ice fishing for sturgeon,
we do.
As a matter of fact, I'm going to watch that. Make sure that I get a link. Oh man!
And what time do you plan on going live? Saturday or Sunday, bud?
Saturday.
All right, everybody. We'll be there Saturday to support Luke and thank him for being here. One more question for the real Shannon. He says, are you guys into MLF or Bassmaster? I am not, but my professional or favorite professional bass fisherman is probably Mike Iaconelli because I've met him in person and he was nothing but a gentleman to me.
Seth Fighter is a Minnesota boy. I've met him. He's a super good dude. Seth Fighter's the champion, so I'm going with Seth.
There you go.
I'm an Iaconelli fan. I like Kevin Van Dam also, but Iaconelli is just high energy, and he's the thing on television that all of us guys on YouTube are striving to be. High energy, people person, catches a lot of fish.
That he does.
Yeah. So, Luke, you're the best, man. Thank you so much for coming on here tonight and helping us out, answering all the questions. You never batted an eye. I appreciate that, and I'm looking forward to Monday night. Mark,
I want to say thank you to Luke. I was happy to see you step up for this. We could have talked a little more about ice fishing, but we can do that absolutely another time. I'll have some time to get maybe an outline and some sort of structure to the show. But I'll tell you what, every time I get to talk to you, whether it's on screen or off screen, it's always a pleasure, man. I wish you nothing but the best of luck in the future.
Thank you guys for having me. It was always fun. So
cool.
Well,
hold on a
second.
second.
Have a good time Monday night. That's for certain.
We're going to be getting into it.
Yes, so you said Saturday night you want to go get on Fish on Luke to watch him fish live. First time on the new channel or no?
It'll be my first live stream.
First live stream. Witness history.
Now, will this be at night or during the day?
It'll probably be after dark.
After dark.
That way Chad's tournament's over.
Chad's got his tournament during the day. You got Winter Blues. You got Catfish Weekly again with Luke. That'll be another show. We'll pick up the argument there when Chad will be able to referee that one. And my show right after Catfish Weekly over on Catfish and Crappie. So
thanks everybody for watching. It means so much to us that you guys will spend your Thursday evening with us after Chad. And we will see you all next week. Thanks again.